Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is a great pleasure to personally welcome you all to our new location for Beyond the NFT here at Meta One Designs headquarters in MetaTribe Plaza. Really excited to begin a whole new stage of Beyond the NFT with every single one of you here, and of course with our special guest tonight. Uh, that I will be introducing here shortly. Just want to do a few shout outs to all my friends that are currently here, such as like Brandon rocking his muse. We got Hugh Pow over there feeling himself with that odd job emote. I see Nanky and CK Bubbles, as well as Metal Wolf, Jandora, Shelly Van. We even have Canessa in the building. This is gonna be a special episode. Let me look around the room a little more to say hello to Mr. Multi NFT in the house. We got Protrust. We got Graphical Toxic Waifu in the back with a rose. Is that a rose for me, Toxic? Are you gonna hand it to me here or throw it at me? Welcome, OG Contraband. We have our homie Derek in the building, and yeah, we're. I'm just very excited for a special episode here. As usual, my name is Sinful, and I am your host for Beyond the NFT. And without further delay, I would like to introduce tonight's guest. He is a music composer, guitarist, and founder of NFT Music Hall. It is a pleasure to introduce Fellenz to the stage.
Thank you so much, Sinful. This is a real treat for me to come in and talk with everyone here. Just be with you. What a great turnout. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I mean it is awesome to once again have the opportunity to chat with you here on a live show. I know we've done two Music Matrix in the past, which were both amazing shows over at the True Band Room, and so I mean. I'm so happy to, finally make it around and get you on Beyond the NFT for all of us here. Um, so joining us tonight, we also have another guest. And Flens, I'll pass it over to you so you could give our friend a special introduction.
Absolutely. And so, uh, a special topic for tonight, of course, is the fact that Top Down, a music video NFT, is going to be minting on Friday, and I am blessed to have the artist for the NFT here with us tonight, Jigsaw, and he's been a real special inspiration for me, and how he's not only himself being a very accomplished composer songwriter, but his animations are amazing, and just something for everyone to be able to experience, enjoy his other art too. But here we go. I am happy to introduce Jigsaw to this room.
Hey, thanks. Um, Appreciate that. Yeah, it's been fun working with Fellenz, and it's been a long process of trial and error, and ideas, and flops, and successes, and it's been a long road, but it's been fun though. Like Fellenz is fun to work with at the very least. So
I love that. I love that because, like, at the current stage of like what we're doing here in like the Web3 space is we are just fucking around and finding out. But as we're doing that, we have fun. That's the most important part, I personally think.
Definitely, just being able to keep it light as much as possible, and just you know pivot when it's time. Baking it as far as you can go, and having a willing partner is what it's most rewarding, and so yeah.
So, I guess to begin the show, I would like to kind of just start off with like the probably what we can call the basic questions
Sure.
pertaining to kind of like just how you entered the space and all that. So yeah, well. To begin, I'll pass it over to Flenz. How long have you been making music? Uh, and what brought you to the NFT space, the Web3 space?
Yeah, so I've been making music for a couple decades, and with that, I really focused on, or turned the corner on composing music in digital form. So I finally got a really great DAW, digital audio workstation, Reason, and of course over the last year or so I converted over to Logic Pro, but I just went deep into the rabbit hole composing in 2019. It was right after my dad passed away, and so it was just really one of those moments where, hello, I've been wanting to do this so long, but I finally have the tools. I'm going for it, and of course, that was November 2019. Go into COVID, and I just really went on a rampage. And then ultimately, a good friend of mine who had gotten me into crypto in 2017 and let that ride out, and he brought me into a really interesting NFT investment club almost. It was called Grow Your Base, and through that I was introduced to a number of people. That was February, March of 21, and through
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, did we lose Flenz?
Fellenz?
Oh, we've maybe some technical issues there. There we go. I finally made it into Metal One Design. Or am I the, or am I rugging? Oh no, no, I'm still here.
No, I can hear you. I can't hear him though.
Okay, yeah. Here, I'll just send them a message.
Maybe that train finally got him.
That train's been aiming for him this entire afternoon, and oh, see, yeah, maybe the train, uh, it finally caught up to him. But I guess I guess I'll pass it over to you, Jigsaw. Um, Flenz had mentioned that you are also a music producer. You are within the music space as well as the art space. How long have you been? How long have you been making music? And also, what came first? Did the art come first or the music?
Um, Technically the art came first. But I've been doing music for probably I think it's either 12 or 13 years now. Um, and the art I started doing I mean, it's kind of the reason why I say technically is just because I was like a scrappy little 13-year-old kid and like got my hands on Photoshop and I like paid for my car when I was 16 with like graphic design work. So I was making and designing logos for companies for a long time. But the reason why there's like the technical caveat is because I have only been doing art in like an expressive nature where I'm used to a bunch of client work. Like that's where
Hmm.
my capacity for art has been for the last 15 years of my life, or what I guess it would be more like 10 years of my life. The art was more of like a basically a means for me to make ends meet. So I was always doing graphic design work and like client work where my job was to bring your idea to life, not my own creative vision. And up until only about 5 or 6 years ago did I actually start like creating art just for the fun of it, like just expressing myself. Um, but yeah, I guess that answers the question.
Yep, yep. And just a quick follow up, like, what inspired the style? Like from when I saw you join in the Discord, I noticed your PFP, and it kind of had like the same aesthetic, same style as Topper did, which is Flen's PFP right now.
Right. Um, I have no shame in saying that I am heavily, heavily influenced by an artist. His name is Jonan Vasquez. He did a cartoon back in like I think it was the early 2000s.
Can
It
I
might have
get?
been like,
May I guess? May I take a guess at which cartoon it may be?
oh yeah, please do.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
Oh no, that's a
Ah.
good cartoon though. I like that one. No, he did a show on Nickelodeon called Invader Zim.
No way!
Uh-huh.
Okay,
What?
that's where the start. That's where it is. Dang it! I was so close. That would have been like
And
my third
before
guess.
that, well, he was doing comics. Like he did like this comic series called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. There's one called Squee. Anyway, I'm basically he is 110% the influence of my art style. I'm not like shy about that. I have obviously like taken it and like given my own creative spin on the expressive nature of these characters, but like I hands down, like when I was a 13-year-old kid, I got obsessed with Invader Zim and obsessed with him as an artist, and I bought every single one of his comics. I was just like it was fully involved in everything that he was up to, and so his art style has heavily influenced my art style. And then um, I've just kind of hit the ground running with that, you know. And I try not to be just like a full blown copycat just over the years, but like I'm definitely not going to be shy about saying that he's influenced my art style because like I don't know, that show Invader
Hmm.
Zim and like him as a creator has just heavily influenced me as not only as an artist and a creator but also as a person. Like his pieces and his work is all really really he's very dark and
Hmm.
kind of he like makes a lot of jokes about the world and society and like the way that he views things. And I mean he's just got a really interesting way to view the world, and it's kind of shaped my mind as it were. And so I'm not ashamed to say that like I'm heavily inspired by that man. So that's where it all came from.
Yeah, that is, I mean, an awesome artist to draw inspiration from. Have you had the opportunity to meet him, or perhaps like go to one, like an expo or conference that he was at?
Not yet. I've never met him, but he and I have had like correspondence over the years every so often. Like I would do back when I was a little bit younger. I would do like because he had his comic series, and I would take panels, some of my favorite panels from the cartoon or from the comics, and I would like give them a subtle animation. Like so, there's like a scene where Johnny the homicidal maniac has like a gun, and he doesn't
Hmm.
normally have a gun, but anyway, like it's he's I can't remember the line off the top of my head, but I thought that panel was hilarious and like really well thought out, and so I took it and then I like animated his hand to like cock the pistol back, and then it like I moved the mouth so he like talks the line right. And I would email Jonan his these panels, and every so often he would respond and say this is really cool, you know, like so that's the only level of interaction I've had with him, but it would be an honor to meet him for sure.
I mean that that is awesome to, you know, even if it's through like email or DM, like to have the creators like approval in a way, like through like them saying like, bro, this is awesome, like thank you for making it. That, man, that is
Yeah,
sick. And
he's not the kind of guy that I would imagine that would take a compliment and be like, "Oh, thank you so much, man." You know, like he's very introverted as far as I understand him, and so it's like literally like two words. He'd be like, "Super cool," you know, like, and I'm just like, it makes my day. But like for him, I'm sure it was just like he's just going through replies or whatever.
oh, I'm sure he took his time to take to, you know, see it and reply. Like what, like you mentioned, like he is a bit introverted. So I mean, I understand. Like as a fellow introvert that is a psyop. I guess I'm good at being extroverted, but I'm really internally introvert. Like, yeah, I'm sure he really appreciated that you took the time to do that.
Yes, I am also an introvert, so it's like, um, yeah, it's can definitely see eye to eye in that regard.
Yeah, sometimes I send some like 2 word replies to friends, and I later on, like, I'll think about, like, was I too short with them? Man. I see Fellenz came back. Did you survive the train attack, or are you
Check,
putting your
check.
limbs back together? Check, check, check. We heard you.
Nice. Well, I did interject a train while it was coming by, so I'm sure you heard that.
No, we heard a train noise, and then you just like went away, and we're like, "What happened? The train got him."
Exactly. So no, I actually got out, completely restarted Discord. So hey, so here we are. I didn't have to reboot, thankfully. But so great to hear the story. And I was struggling to remember the name of the series, Invader Zim. Awesome. I'm so happy to know that. So, yep, makes sense, man. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So
Here we go again.
I believe we were like in the middle of kind of you sharing like how you got into music, what brought you into the NFT space, and I think that's when the train got you.
Exactly. They're electrifying the rails back here, so it probably got an EMP. That's what happened.
Just like your house lights just like flickered on and off, and uh,
Yeah. So yeah, I was just saying how I got into music, into composing, and then ultimately into the NFT scene. And it was one of those things where it was just the perfect conversation of community, and with me really essentially falling into the token smart community, I met uh, uh, three of the most, or four of the most significant people. Five here, let me say five, yeah, because there was Tim Ellis, otherwise known as Jack's Hideaway. He introduced me to so many people. Easy and Crypto, I met at this Crypto Jazz Festival in July of 21, and then in Token Smart, Trizlet, and Dragonate, and then Banks, Planet Banks, and her Third Planet Studios. Just 10x my exposure to music, my the creation of NFT Music Hall, and essentially just having the connection with so many musicians, having come in to interview 40 of them through NFT Music Hall. And so with that, my NFT adventures were actually directly after meeting Tim. Actually met a founder of the NFT. That's basically the company became Fanfare, and so it was a minting platform, and I put music to their founders token. I released my first NFT that was Smoked Skies, and then with that I wound up just doing a lot of music for other projects, Fat Cats, and I was working on a piece of music for a movie, which ultimately they pulled the plug on their interest in it, but I've since been repurposing that properly, and with that, that's going to be a future project. But ultimately, with getting music onto like the Meta Rides, pit passes as they're known. Meta Rides is a 3D vehicle that soon enough will be drivable in all manner of virtual spaces. Uh, Anything that's Unreal Engine, Unity, Hyperfi. It's just going to be really, really cool to be seeing that, come to fruition. And of course, getting into a great community called the NFT Record Shop, and of course, this whole other community that more or less has uh, come out and around from Nifty Music and just a number of different communities. And I can talk about all the other NFT projects that I'm in right now, but ultimately that's how my music got out there. I was able to perform in spaces and start sharing my compositions, and ultimately here we are. And I've had this huge backlog, and I can't say how many times I promised to get something out, and I was just caught up in so many different projects and working with artists and getting things started. And so I am so stoked to get to the finish line here with Jigsaw, because as Jigsaw alluded to, we did have all sorts of starts and stops. And we had originally looked to have a moving vehicle in uh, a virtual space, and then take that footage and apply AI to it. And for a variety of reasons of the model not really satisfying us, and really demanding a lot from systems, and just it wasn't coming together the way we wanted to. And I basically said, "What do you want to do? What do you think would be the right thing to do?" And he said exactly what I wanted him to say, and let's pivot and do animation, which is his sweet spot, if I may say so. That did I get that right, Jigsaw?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is I told him when I first met Fellenz, I mean, we had been talking in spaces and stuff. So it's like the first time I met him in person, it was at this like art show where I was being featured as one of the artists at the show, and he was looking at my reel. I had like a screen that was just like playing through things that I was working on, completed projects, all this stuff. And he saw this AI stuff. I had this like crazy blender thing going on, whereas just this like psychedelic blender of, it was just nuts. And he was like, "What is this stuff?" I was like, "Oh, well, it's this AI thing that I'm learning." And I told him from the jump, I was like, "Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning this. This is like cutting edge stuff, and like I can't make any promises, but like I'm totally down to go down this road with you if you want to." And so yeah, it was like a bunch of trial and error, and I'm not a coder, and a lot of this AI stuff has to do with like Python coding, and like anyway, it was just like a big huge undertaking, and I'm still learning, I'm still working with it and trying my best, but ultimately it was just like I was like, "Look, man, like I'm having a hard time doing this stuff." And so I was like, I can animate, I can draw a character for you, and I can animate it just fine. And like I was like, we should do something like that. And over the process, I think it was pretty much the entirety of January, I was like sending him progress reports and showing him the character come together and all that stuff. And I'm really, really happy with the result. I learned I have a tendency to push the envelope with everything that I make, and there were so many aspects of this animation that I just have never done before. Like I just had never quite approached a thing like this before, where so I learned a ton, and it was really, really fun and rewarding to like see the end result and try new things, and then like do something that I'm a little bit more familiar with at the end of the day too.
That's awesome. And so I guess this next question may be for both of you. So whoever would like to hop on for it, feel free. When designing a character, for example, such as Topper, what are some of the beginning stages that, like, Okay, from the person that wants it done to the artist, like what are some of the beginning stages that the client should take in order to kind of get that make their vision come true? I don't know if that made sense.
Sure. Well, honestly, actually, Fellenz he pretty much just put it in my hands. But I mean, to answer your question though, there's definitely a way to go about, like, because I mean, this was a collaboration, so like he was just kind of like, hey, I told him that we should do a character animation, and I was like, I'll just like design a character and then see what you think. And so I sent him like a really rough draft, right from the jump, and he was just like, this is cool, like I like this guy, he's got attitude, like he was just had his arm out the window or arm on the car door. And I mean, I pretty much nailed it like right on the jump. He didn't
Yep.
really have a ton of feedback on if I should redesign him or not, but if you have
I just
anything more to add, Felons.
I just said this is fucking cool. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that was the thing was a lot of the times there is like a correspondence on like, well, what if he had, there was a couple of things I think that he was like, what if his shirt was yellow? Because I think it was originally
Right.
like red or something. And then
Right.
just like a couple of kickbacks on just like, yeah, well, let's change his shirt color. And what if his hair was a little bit more bright? Or what if he has more hair or less hair? Like there was just like a few like jumps back and forth between, but it seemed like he was pretty happy from the jump, and that's always nice when I can just kind of nail the attitude that we're looking for, right? And I mean, I've been listening to this song for months at this point, and so I had this idea in my head about how it could look as a character and like the way that he would be as far as attitude goes. And I just wanted him to be, I mean, similarly to the way that like I feel about Felons is like I just wanted this guy to be like, it's like he's cool, man. Like, you want to be his friend. Like you see this guy and it's just like, who is this guy? He's cool. And that was kind of the approach that I was going for. So it was nice that I kind of nailed it right from the jump.
So, Flens, could you confirm that you got your hair all slicked to the side with sunglasses? You're looking all cool. Is is that you IRL?
Definitely. Absolutely. The just the dew that the guy has. I mean, flowing in the wind. I mean, we stacked an extra layer on top just to give him a little bit more, loft, right? But what actually Jigsaw really did a great job bringing the theme in that I had written out kind of like a scene script almost, per every change in the song, and with that, the main theme was cruising in the into the sunset with a baby blue close to whatever was available to us, but generally like a 56 baby blue T-Bird convertible. And so
um,
uh,
so
his artist rendering of it just, blew me away. It's like I thought it was just going to be a cool, you know, approximation, but he did an amazing job, really making it totally stylized, and so
mhm.
blue and the sunset and just the movement of the hand, going with the rhythm of the. So I'm not going to give away too much more.
Yeah, I was gonna mention if you wanted to share screen and quickly like share some references of what we're talking about, you're more than welcome to. If not, perhaps we can save the surprise.
Well, what do you think? Shall we show the cover art of it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
heck
see.
yeah.
I see no harm, and it's a very nice cover. All right.
And you have it in your hot hand, so if you want to share screen, keep it simple.
Uh,
Um,
yeah,
or shall I?
it would not be simple for me. I'd have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got it right here
Oh,
if you want to
Yeah.
see.
you got it.
Well,
Perfect.
do it, Jigsaw. Otherwise, I would have it popped up in a sec. Drum roll, please. The artist presents
Alrighty, I have the screen up. Let me get it on OBS here real quick.
And so naming the guy, we called him like Little Dude, the Dude, for a while, and it's like Top Down. It's like Topper, yeah, Topper. And looked it up and went like, oh man, this is actually not too bad. I actually looked it up in the dictionary. It's like, what is a topper? And had this really great definition. Let me see if I can actually bring it up again because it's fucking hilarious. Depth topper. I went into this like a slang dictionary, but here, where is it? Come on. Free dictionary. Basically, one that removes tops or puts tops on, something that goes on top of something else. But the real thing, a person or thing that tops, basically somebody that is excels in something. And so yeah, we kind of made some jokes about some combining of those, but the bottom line was that it fit because the guy is awesome. So he's excelling at laying the track down.
So now that everyone has met Topper, what could you tell us about Top Down? What is Top Down, and what should we know?
Well, really, it's about the music that inspired, and that's the, I have to say, for Jigsaw to have remained inspired by the music to get the project done and not get completely sick of it. I will just let the music speak for itself. And that's the biggest thing, and very grateful for it to have turned out the way it did, because I definitely noodled the crap out of it to be what it is today. And so equal trial and error and learning on my part in programming it, and ultimately it's the vibe. And being able to put this on the radio and just cruise to it, it's not an anthem, it's just a vibe. And I myself, I'm all over road trips, and I love to put instrumental, sure, I can go on and on about all the bands and musicians I love to listen to. But ultimately, something that just gives you the vibe. You're driving, you're looking out the window, arms like waving in the wind, catching, wind in the hand, wind in the hair.
I think we should show them the movement, man. I think we should show them. Well, they don't have to hear the song. I should play the video.
Yeah, do the loop that you created.
Totally.
30-second one. Absolutely. And maybe I could play the music in the background.
That would be awesome. By the way, if anyone is wondering about the artwork done on my profile picture, it was drawn by an 8-year-old NFT artist, and gifted to me. Oh, this is dope.
Dun dun dun. Hide your eyes.
The movement is just like,
This is awesome.
I sound really arrogant, I guess, but it's like I'm really proud of what's going on here.
As you should be proud of it. This is amazing animation. What? And as Fellenz was mentioning, it does capture that vibe of just driving down the coastline, top down, hair or wind blowing your hair back, just listening to some tunes.
Should I cue it up for a second?
Yes, go for it. All right, everyone. We are going to have the great pleasure to listen to Top Down before it's released, correct?
Right. And the pleasure shall be in acquiring for it to be synchronized because it's a fully synchronized video. But here, do you want to just restart it really quick? I'll play 30 seconds. And here we go. Thank you for being here, everyone. Here's Top Down. You hear this okay?
Yep, I hear it.
It goes on for, well, another couple minutes after that. So, yes.
And there we have it. Okay, so so for anyone listening right now, I believe it's going to be on Friday, the official release date, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so Friday we will be hosting a release party here at Metal One Design HQ in honor of the top down release party. Um, so we just got a like the preview here first, and so yeah, make sure to join us on Friday at I think we're no. It's 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. So, and Jigsaw, I wanted to bring it back to you. You had mentioned that you didn't want to sound arrogant or anything, but in all honesty, I think you should, because like the animation to the music, like literally, if you close your eyes, you can imagine yourself driving down the coastline.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. No, that was the thing was, I mean, throughout, despite all the trial and error through like trying to figure out the visuals for this piece was like, the consistent theme was like, Fellenz kept hitting me back with like Southern California, like sunset, highway driving. And I mean, I ever since I got my driver's license, I've loved driving. Like driving is one of my favorite things to go and just like hop in the car and listen to music. It's like my my go-to way to test if my songs are like viable or finished or not. Like I I love driving and the vibes of just like putting on some music and just like blowing off some steam by just cruising. And I don't live in California, but over the months of us working on this, I had been looking at a bunch of um, imagery and driving in Grand Theft Auto, which is like it's based off of Southern California or in like LA, and looking at a bunch of reference material on like the feeling and the general feel of what that looks like and like what coastal driving is on like the western side of the United States and like what the sunset looks like, and just really honestly diving into like the color palette and like the way that warm tone and all of that stuff. This is all stuff that was just like intensely curated to try and just like capture that feeling. And so I feel like I did an all right job, and I'm really proud of it one way or another. I'm not certainly not ashamed of it. It's was a lot of fun to like listen to the song, and like there's one of my signature moves is to like add a lot of really a lot of nuanced detail to whatever it is that I do, whether it's a still piece or an animated piece or anything along those lines. I call it like a jigsaw detail. That's like one of my shticks. And there's just like subtle things in this animation that like you'll pick up on and be like, oh wait a minute, that thing's like wiggling, or that thing is dancing to the rhythm. Like there's that kind of stuff in this thing, but on top of that, it's just like I put a lot of hard work and like energy into making sure that this piece like fit the tone of the song, because I think that just as a fellow composer and as a fellow producer of music, it's like the visual has to be a complement to the piece, it's to the music itself. Like the visual can't be a compromise, it needs to be an enhancer of the feeling, and I feel like I did an all right job with that.
Not just an all right job. You knocked it out of the ballpark. I just from like previous conversations, even with Fellenz, like this entire week, like he's been so happy to share like your artwork with us, and has like told us how dope it is. And I'm just I know that you hit the nail on the head with Flenz's vision of what top down is within its cover art. Jigsaw, any thoughts on possibly like continuing the series and maybe even collaborating with Fellenz, like with your music?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been going through like an existential crisis about my art and stuff, because honestly, throughout the year of 2023, I spent a lot of time drawing, and I like drawing. It's fun, and I'm certainly not. I feel very blessed and honored that people are interested in like hiring me for my work and or collaborating with me for my work. And at the end of the day, basically, this whole long story is basically that I spent way too much time drawing last year, and this year I intend on doubling down on music production. I'm a composer and an artist, and a lot of people in the NFT space know me as an artist and a composer, and it's like that narrative needs to flip. And so, really, I would be super down. I told Fellenz this already, but like if he ever wants to collaborate on music, I'm obviously super duper down for that. And I'm also not done making artwork. Like I just me and Fellenz had originally talked about doing two individual pieces, and I had messaged him. I was like, "Hey man, I gotta take a break from the drawing stuff
The train
and
agrees.
quadruple down." Yeah, the train is like, "I'm coming in, baby." But yeah, I was like quadrupling down on music production, and I was like, if you ever want to collab on a song, absolutely. Like, and by no means are the doors closed. It's just like I fully intend on spending like. It's almost, if you were to look at it at like a 7-day work week or whatever, it's like 1 day drawing, 6 days making music, versus where it used to be, it was pretty much like 3 days making music, and most of the rest of the time was drawing or animating. And I'm just like, that needs to flip. I need to change that relationship, because I didn't know how much I was hurting myself mentally by like doing artwork. And it sounds like I'm whining or something, and I'm not. It's more just like, honestly, my heart and soul is in music. Like that's what I was like made and born to do. It's what I do best. Like if you were to if you were to just ask me on the echelon of where my music sits versus where my art sits, and this isn't me putting myself down as an artist, it's just me being honest with where I feel about my skill level. And my art is on Earth and my music is in Sagittarius B. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, my music is just on a whole other level of like how proud I am and how much time and dedication and skill and execution that I put into my music versus my artwork. It's just not even, it's comparing apples to oranges basically. And so I just need to like set myself back into that. That being said, I do have a lot of visual projects that I have personally for myself that I would love to feature Fellenz music on. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely not going to be an end of me and Fellenz working together by any stretch of the word. So I would love to work with him with music and stuff. So.
Oh my God. So like as you were speaking and even like leading up to this my last question, I was envisioning like the possibility of like a collaborative album with artwork. Each song could have like a different character, such as Topper, so on and so forth, and you know, could even move forward into like a into like the NFT space as a digital asset. You know, you purchase an music NFT, you get the music and you get the character that's linked to that song. Like okay, shh. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone. Never mind what I
We're
said.
gonna bring him up in a second. No, you nicely done, man. So,
I just spilled the alpha all over here. I'm sorry. But
that's
like,
really sticky, dude.
so like, let I would like to kind of even like segue into your music, Jigsaw. How long have you been making music?
I'm terrible at remembering anything, but I think it's been probably around 12 to 13 years that I've been like making music. I started when I was like a teenager, but I would say like seriously doing it as like trying it to be you know, a means to an end, as it were. Not that I qualify my music that way anymore, but when I started doing it as like a career path, I was about 19, and so that means what, I'm 34, so what, that's 13, 14-ish years.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's about how long.
And kind of what kind of led you to go down that route? Like, what do you have a relative that is was a musician? Like, what inspired you to even like just, you know, pick up music in general?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, my dad was always a hobbyist musician. Like he would have loved to, you know, produce music on like a professional level or whatever. So I was kind of always surrounded by, you know, he used to have like an 8-track tape recorder when I was really young, and then, you know, as he wasn't really ever a rich man, but when he could, he would, you know, purchase like a couple of monitors, and then he'd get like a MIDI keyboard, you know. And just over the years of me growing up, he would like acquire this at-home studio, and just my like the very first song I ever wrote was in this tabulation software called Guitar Pro. I'm sure some people know what Guitar Pro is or was. And I wrote a song in Guitar Pro, and that was probably when I was around 13, 14 years old. And then I stopped pretty much associating myself with like music production after that point up until I was 19. And then randomly I got this itch, and I've always been super duper obsessed with like soundtrack music, so like video game soundtracks, movie soundtracks. Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty much in my veins, and I love cinema too. Like I spent my teenage years like I dropped out of high school in 9th grade with the caveat that my dad said he let me drop out of high school, but he said, okay, you don't get to just sit around and play video games all day, you need to invest yourself into something. And so he's like, if I'm taking you out of school, you need to promise me that you will pursue your dreams, basically. And my dreams at the
Oh.
time was to be like a film director. I would still love to direct film, but I don't have millions and millions of dollars to make that happen. But so yeah, I like, you know, I had books and books, and I have like camera gear and microphones and lighting equipment. And over the years, I had like built up this like, you know, whole portfolio of me working on film. And I have thousands of videos on YouTube of me attempting to become a YouTuber and video content and all that stuff. So this all kind of like coalesces into this final moment of when I was like 19 years old. I sat down with this equipment that my dad had, and I was like, you know, I want to like try writing an orchestra song. And so I gave it a shot, and I have like screenplays that I've written over time that I was like writing the theme music for the screenplay I have called the Bucketeers. And it was just this like main theme, right? Like, you know, imagine like the title screen shows up and it's like, aha, the Bucketeers. And so I wrote this piece when I was 19 years old, and my dad, he was always a guy that he would support me with anything I wanted to do, right? Mm-hmm. He was just a super supportive man, and he supported all of his kids' dreams as best as he could. And so he was just like, not only was he intensely supportive, but like it was kind of hard to know if like he was, I mean, I'm sure he was always proud of me. Not that I don't mean it for to sound like this, but what I mean is like it was hard for me to know which direction I should go, right? Because mm-hmm. I would do something and he'd be like, "Oh man, that's so cool, man! You should do some more of that," you know. Mm-hmm. But in this particular instance, and I will never forget this, and this is part of the reason why I'm realizing that I've like been going through an existential crisis, is that I wrote this song, and it took me about 2 days, and I showed it to my dad. And never once in my entire life had he ever done this to me before, but he sat down and looked at me dead in the face and was like, "You need to stop doing everything else that you're doing, and you need to keep writing music." Like yeah, he like directly told me and was like, "Listen, I know that I've been trying to like support you in being a director and a writer and a animator and all of this stuff," but he was like, "You need to forget all of that and you need to write music." Because he was like, if this is the first time you ever wrote music, an orchestra song, and it sounds like this, you have something here. Like you were made for this, is basically what he told me. And ever since that moment, I've pretty much invested my entirety life into like being obsessed with sound and music and just like developing that skill and getting to the point where I am now, I guess.
That is an amazing story, and shout out to Dad. Like, you know, I'm fortunate enough to also like have my mom is that person for me, the one that said, you know, follow your dreams, whatever it is, do it, and, you know, go hard. So, wow. Big shout out to Dad. Big shout out to Dad. And so in a way, going back to your comment that you said in like before, that you like music for you is like your number one thing. Like I now see why it like that is your primary focus, and like what you would like your digital identity, or like, you know, yourself to be known for. So what was the first track you ever produced? Well, besides the theater music, I guess I should adjust that question. Have you released any music NFTs yet?
Technically, every NFT I make is a music NFT, but the emphasis has always been on the visual, because the space is really visually driven. And so for the last 2 years that I've been in NFTs, like I've kind of been creating really cool visual stuff, and then the music is kind of like the secondary piece of the puzzle, where so technically I haven't released a music NFT where like I go, check out this song and here's a visual to it, right? It's definitely always been, here's a really cool character, And by the way, he has like a perfect 45-second loop on him, and it's like it's always been very, very much like secondary to the visual itself, even though it's not secondary by any stretch of the word. Like the music is awesome and it always is, but like I've never actually released an NFT that goes, hey, check out this song. It's always been a focus on the visual aspect of things, but that's going to change this year. I already have a very, very cool idea that I'm super duper stoked to pursue, and it's going to be kind of on the tail. It'll either be on the tail end or on the front end of me releasing my next album, and yeah, it's going to be really cool. I release an album a year, so it's like a personal goal of mine, and yeah, it's going to be dope.
That's awesome. And moving forward, I am definitely looking forward to following the progress. I just dropped a follow for you on Twitter. Everyone that is currently listening and watching, please head on over to Twitter, drop a follow for @JigsawGeneral, and yeah, I mean keep the vibes going, Jigsaw. Keep it all going, because you're doing an awesome job, like with everything you do. I know that this is definitely not like this is not the first time I've heard of you, because I've like generally been around like the Web3 space on Twitter, and I've may have popped in and seen you at on a space or something. Just never had the opportunity to say hello.
Hell yeah, man. No, I'm sure. I mean, like I said, I've been kicking around for like 2 years, so it's like I'm sure I've bumped into you. You've bumped into me. I'm not. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't really have a lot to say unless I feel like it's valuable to contribute. Like I don't need to fill the room up with my voice. So like if I'm up on a stage on Spaces, a lot of the times I'm like not super loud or like talkative, right? Like I like to contribute to a conversation when I feel like my voice, and this sounds like super arrogant or whatever, but it's not how I mean it to be. It's that my voice has power. Like my words have power, and whether or not that power is like ooh power, I just mean it has energy, and I don't need to fill the room up with air if I don't feel like I have something valuable to contribute to the conversation. So a lot of the times I don't have anything to say because people are talking about things that either A, I don't know what it is, or I don't have anything valuable to add to the conversation. But yeah, I float around, and yeah, I actually my whole creative process, almost every single thing I create, aside from like commission work or things that like can't be publicly shared at the time, I create everything almost entirely online. Like all of the albums that I've ever produced have been made live on stream on my Twitch channel. And so if anybody is ever curious or wants to like come jump in on the creative process, you can watch me do my thing. You can also ask questions. I'm always love it when people drop in and like go like, how do you go about constructing melodies or whatever? And I'm always super duper happy to like educate. And this isn't me pumping my numbers. It's just more like I genuinely love to inspire creativity out of folks. And the more I can do that, the more I can like be a presence for people to feel inspired and allowed to be creative. The better. Like I always like to be the weirdest guy in the room because it makes it so everybody else can feel like they can be weird too, right? And I'm not like specifically outwardly being audaciously strange. I'm just myself. Like and that's the way I used to spend a whole lot of time in my early adult life as well as my young teenage years putting on masks and like being a certain somebody when I'm with so and so, and then when I'm with this group of friends I'm this version of myself, and I'm with that person I'm this version, right? And I know a lot of people can relate to this feeling, but about seven-ish, maybe 8 years ago, I stopped, and I've just decided to just be myself, and I've made a lot of friends doing that, and I've also made not enemies, but people that are just like, you know what, I don't like that guy, and that's okay. Like there's like 10 billion people on the planet. Like we don't all have to be friends, and I just try to approach anything I do with authenticity. Like I don't pull punches. I'm not a mean person, but I'm just honest, and I try to just like do that with every single thing that I do. Somehow I got on this tangent about that, but my
Hmm.
point is it's not for me to try and get more numbers. I'm not interested in having a bazillion followers. I just genuinely love to inspire people, and I feel like with authenticity and honesty, I can um, provide a space for people to feel like they're allowed to be creative, or at the very least, allowed to be themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, you said it perfectly. Like one thing that I always like mention to anyone coming into the space that may be new is I always tell them, be yourself. Being yourself is the best person you can be within this, digital space that we're all just trying to build and grow. So like you hit it right there. I love everything you said about like, authenticity. Like you got to be that person. Because everyone else is taken. Yeah. Uh, so
Right.
I'll pass it back to Flenz. So what more can you tell us about Topper, Flenz? Like, have you written up any lore behind the character that is Topper?
Oh, I think Jigsaw and I should collaborate on that one.
Of course, of course. Go for it.
Absolutely. We've talked enough about it to we have enough material, I think. But the main thing is, I think we got to figure out how fast he really likes to go, because he's cruising at a good clip here, don't you think?
Trying to figure out whether he's going old man speed or he's like going like young 20s kid in a Ferrari fast.
You're right. Well, I before we go into that, I just want to say, hearing everything about Jigsaw, I just know that that was, you know, such a, just an easy, relationship to jump into this. I mean, uh, totally symbiotic. I mean, so yeah, it's great to uh, hear the rest of it, and this is perfect. So glad everybody else had a chance to get to know Jigsaw here, because he is a superhuman being. So there you go. Topper. Now Topper is going to get out of his car, and he's going to be hopping, topping. So we're actually working with a phenomenal 3D artist that is in amongst you guys that soon shall be shared, because I don't want to give him stage fright yet, but no,
Oh, if it's the man that I know, this man does not have any fear. He does not fear anything. Uh,
should I leak it? Is he here on?
yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
actually standing right next to me, not to like, not to throw it out there.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, Brandon Manis, so stoked to have you working with me, working on this project. And so, yeah, I outed you. So now we have to finish it. No, but it's going to be turned into, or Topper shall be a VRM, which shall be. Uh, I don't think we're gonna do the DCL wearable. I am sorry, but it could happen. But at this point, the VRM will be like the perfect jump around guy in all these other virtual spaces. So, especially the big one that's happening right now, of course, is Nifty Islands. So keep an eye out, because it will be a part of the top down NFT, and just it'll all come together.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
Will the Topper VRM be available to those who purchase the NFT, or will it be like something available for individuals that attend the event on Friday?
A combination. Definitely the NFT holders. That is definitely the destination for Topper. And as far as we're gonna work on what's happening for Friday, because definitely, if not Topper himself, we will have, uh, we're gonna uh, have some fun. We definitely have some ideas for, um, spin the wheel, and we're gonna have some
Ooh.
giveaways.
Yeah, 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 you're hinting at some giveaways here. Ooh.
So in-world assets, if not Topper himself. So definitely looking forward to it. Anything else you wanted to give around Topper while we're talking about him, Jigsaw? It was me that kind of yanked him out of the car, so it was just like, hey.
Right? No, no, it should be cool. I wish I was a 3D modeler. Like, it would be something that I would have a lot of fun probably making it myself. But I mean, I'm not. So, like, there's just no other way to cut it. Like, I mean, I know my way around 3D software. Like, that was part of my creative journey when I was younger. But I've never been a great modeler. My strengths have always been in animation, and whatever animation form that takes, be it traditional 3D or anything in between. Like, I have an eye for animation, so it's just where I'm at.
I love it. I love it. The you know the one of the biggest issues I that are or the most common issues around like creators in this space is the whole like we can't do it all. It's each part of the process is a very time consuming thing, such as like the 3D modeling that is a bit of a time consuming process, and then you go to producing the music, doing the artwork. It all just it all stretches out through a span of time, and
Right.
across different skills as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And sorry, we keep harkening back to this crisis that I've been having, but it's the truth of it really is that, and this is just more along the lines of creativity and what, or like, not necessarily creativity. It's more just about aspirations, right? Like as a human being, as a person who exists on this planet, the thing is that time is the most valuable asset, and it's like a no duh. Of course it is, right? But I mean, really think about that, like what that means. And so it's like, sure, I would love to be able to 3D model efficiently. And it's like this year it was a goal of mine to become more proficient in Blender, and I have been working on that. But like there really is this thing where you have to just think about the potentiality of yourself in 5 years, and think about the things that you would like to accomplish, and the where you would like to be in 5 years, or I mean not even 5 years, in a year. And think about like the way that you would like to spend your creative time. The first notion, the first one that pops to your heart and pops to your head is likely the one that you should spend the most time doing, because time is the most precious, most valuable thing that you can have. And so the more time you spend doing the thing that you want to be doing, the better you'll get at it, the more rewarding it is when at the end of the road you look back and you go, dang, like look at all this stuff that I've learned, look at all this stuff that I've accomplished, look at all these things that I've learned. One way or another, you have to line up your own metric of what success means to you, because some people's success is making money doing the thing they love. For some people it's sharing this song with my brother, like that's success, right? Like, I mean, every creator has to find their own barometer on what it means to be successful. And
Yes,
for
sir.
me, it's producing the music. Like at the end of the day, it's because I had spent 7 years making music for music licensing, and I had looked at my portfolio and I was like, literally nobody on the planet Earth has any evidence whatsoever to know that I've been creating music for 7 years. And that's when I decided to shift gears and go, okay, now I will make sure that I release an album a year, because like there was just no, it wasn't on Spotify. I have like 2,500, 3,500 type cues in my hard drive that nobody other than the person I sent it to, my dad and myself, had ever listened to. And I was just like, this needs to stop. Like, because what matters to me is to be a composer. Whether or not you know that doesn't necessarily matter to me. But for me, as long as it exists on like the internet and it's like on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's accessible. When somebody searches my name, they find it. That to me is, I have evidence of the hard work that I've put into this thing that I love so much. And so that's the thing, right? It's like I want to spend my time making music. Like I was born for this. And so any amount of time that I'm spending doing something other than that, it's not a failure, it's not a loss. It's just I need to make sure that that thing that I'm doing is worth it to me, because what I want to be doing is making music. Yeah, anyway.
I love it. Yep, yep. I mean, yeah, I mean, eventually all of us need to choose like what route to take within the space and what we want, what is our calling. You know, like even for me, like you know, wanted to be a promoter, wanted to make a Web3 ad agency, and then I don't know, I found kind of like my calling in show hosting. I found that I am good at show hosting shows, and you know, I also enjoy it, like being able to have different creators come on Beyond the NFT or anything else that I might do is like a huge honor, because I just want to show my friends like other, like the dope people that are around the space, and you know, from there maybe my talented friends could collaborate with those same talents that I have on the show, or you know, you never know when a connection could be established. So
Totally. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, and I mean, the thing is too, is I mean, I feel like it's kind of a loaded topic that we're talking about, because
yes
there's
sir.
some people that are living and they're 35, or it feels like a lot of time has passed and they still don't know what they want to do. That's okay. Like, in fact, like being in that space of curiosity and play, in some instances, I'm like, there are some parts of me that are like envious that it's like, well, like, dang, like I'm only passionate this way about music, like I'm like, in some shortcomings of myself, I can think about myself and be like, it would be nice if I had the same amount of passion for like programming or whatever it might be, right? And it's like at the end of the day, the point is there's only the best way I could succinctly say, if you're like still wandering and you don't know what your calling was, the most succinct way that I could put it, that would just be like the short and sweet version of expressing how much it matters to you as an individual, being a human being existing on this planet. We have personal obligations to be ourselves, because the moment that you start trying to just like fit in or be the version of yourself that's more socially acceptable, or whatever the heck that version of you think that means, you're compromising the world. You're robbing not only yourself but the entirety of humanity of you. Like, you, nobody else can possibly be you, like in any shape, way or form. And it's like you have almost like a social obligation to just like stop it, like stop fitting in, like just go and be yourself, because you and myself and everybody I know have such unique and powerful perspectives, and to be able to just like lean in to the strangity of just being yourself. And it's scary, and it's sometimes it doesn't work, and it hurts a lot, by the way, like it's not an easy road. It's certainly bumpy, but like it's the best way to like play, the best way to explore what you want, the best way to find what it is that you're passionate about, is to just actually just lean into who you are as a person, because you're a culmination of years of upbringings and challenges and sadness and joy and happiness and experiences and perspectives that no matter what, even if I was your brother, even if I was your twin brother, I will literally have a complete 110% different view of the world and what it means. And it's like, try to just like drive that point into people that I meet, where it's just like, be yourself, because you're the only person who can do that, like literally.
Literally, that is you're the one of one on this space. Like in the digital space, you just be yourself and be you. Yeah. um, let's see. Dang it, I had another topic I wanted to cover, but I must have smoked too much weed before the show. uh,
Well, I've been typing away back here, exchanging chats with T-Bird, who's working on the flyer for Friday, and it's looking sweet. So,
nice.
yep,
Yeah. So could
getting ready
you,
for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
could you share some details on what will be going on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern?
No.
No, come on, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a hint.
Oh man. Well, honestly, it's coming together, and so as far as the you know what's going to happen, the main things are really uh, catching up. I mean, we really gave the goods here tonight, and we'll recreate this to some degree. But the most important thing is to get with the vibe, and we'll share that and other music, and just get into the communities to celebrate and you know have a chance to uh, celebrate the mint. I mean, it's a real you know pretty significant for me. This is my first mint in over a year, and to make you know you can call myself a Web3 native musician, and so it's yeah.
I have to say, you know, I doubt, like, or I don't know, I don't think you kind of thought of this like on purpose, but like just taking a step back and looking, I feel like this is one of the perfect times to have a drop come out because like we're what you know currently what crypto markets are we what it seems like we're entering a bull market like I mean I say seem but like come on Bitcoin is literally almost at all-time highs right now and and you're the relatives at the dinner table are starting to tell you about Bitcoin again and stuff like that so I mean this is the beginning of a cycle here. I think there's only room to grow here.
Definitely, and definitely respecting the fact that ETH has gone so crazy and gas is so out, out of control. There will be gas relief, so thinking Polygon maybe optimism, but bottom line, we're looking at alternatives to uh, the gas, the evil gas. No, I mean, man, this train. What can I tell you? It's full of gas.
That's the gas train. That's the $50 gas fee train.
So really, there's a lot of thought going into the mint and what uh, the best delivery method is, and of course, how to make all the pieces and parts functional.
Hmm.
The collab, uh, the integration of this wearable VRM, more than just wearable. I mean, and be able to uh, go a little further into the, a whole bunch of different opportunities in virtual spaces. And so, yeah, uh, there will be a opportunity to jump into another virtual space, and whether or not we do that, I'm thinking that will probably happen in the second hour.
I see.
And
I
so,
see. Well,
and
very.
so we'll see what happens. Make it so there might be an adventure, something to collect. Get something there, bring it back. Verify. It really a lot of options right now. So yeah.
Yep. So, has this been your first time kind of putting together a virtual event, like kind of being at the head of it, making the decisions?
Other than hosting shows, yeah, this is in a way, I've touched all these pieces before, but being able to work with a team that is going to help me through this, I think, yeah, but this is the first time that I've really had this great of support, and I cannot thank you enough to, just really jumping into it. We were talking, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, this is coming up. It's like, oh my God, let's do this. And so, I really appreciate family. Just, you uh, you've got something. Let's do this. I mean, it's the way to live, and I appreciate it so much. So, yeah, coming back to this exact location at Meta One,
Uh,
and so yeah, it's going to be dressed up. Definitely the vibe will be even more topish, and and so I don't know. Should I share? It's really cool. In the back channel, uh, let's see.
uh,
In the back channel, we've had a little bit of progress shown by Brandon, which I think I'm just gonna show just the front shape of Topper. How's that? Since you were sharing your
mhm.
screen really easily there, Jigsaw, do you want to just throw him up on screen really quick, or is that too much alpha?
No, I can. Let me. I think I need to like download this thing that you sent me first. So just like give me a second.
Hmm. Yep, sounds good. Then we'll bring it back to Jigsaw. I guess like a in between question, Flens, like from when the idea of wanting to have a virtual release party to now, were there like any internal trials for yourself? Like you were worried about how you were gonna do something and or get it done or find the support. Was there like any hard part to this so far?
It's really collecting all the assets, and at the same time, really getting my head around what and how to mint it, let alone make the party happen. I mean, half of it is the organization and the place
Hmm.
and prepping it. But as far as the actual event, it's really been, yeah, a little, short notice. I caught myself going, well, I want to get this done. And one thing you guys don't know is that I'm leaving for South by Southwest on Saturday. So the day after this event, I'm going to be heading to Austin to uh, you know, support these AR installations featuring some phenomenal musicians and organizations here that some of you guys know. Um, and Spotty Wi-Fi is one of the, you know, a big community member that we've got lined up to be in this thing. We're calling it the ART Walk, the Art Walk, and it's going to be directly outside of the convention center on 4th. So if anyone is in South by Southwest, that will be in place over the weekend, all through the week actually. And the app to use is XR Hub. And the wolves are out.
Oh, the wolves are Yes, the wolves are up.
Wolves.
I, I,
Not
I,
dark enough.
I should just record them and make that like a normal like ambiance sound that is in the back. Just wolves
Well,
being wolves.
I'll have the train waking them up and they'll howl. How's that?
I mean, if there were trains here, I'm sure they would howl every time a train came through. So, as far as before I pass it over to Jigsaw, because I see that his screen is up. Like, is there any way to support you at South by Southwest? Like, will there be any way to watch or yeah, like
Yeah.
listen?
So what we'll be working on, so I'm working with a phenomenal AR, just talking about an evangelist, let alone musician, supporter of music, a young man by the name of Hexadized. Um, he and I are gonna bunk up and just put this whole thing together. And he's got so many people in his camp that are, um, and I'm I'm not even gonna try and do justice to this because there's so many people that are involved in this. So uh, I'll make sure that I have my story straight for the the launch party and have some links to share. Uh, because the installations are geolocated, there is a way. Uh, they have a feature where you can generate QR codes such that you can actually see the assets wherever you are. So it would be projected into your room wherever you are. Ideally, you go outside and look at them, but essentially, you have the ability to see the installations apart from where they are situated. And so clearly, the organizations that are supported, the individual artists, there's definitely so much to support there. We're working with a virtual space or the AR augmented reality space called Spheroid, and we actually, well, Hexadized uh, put a funding proposal in for them, and they accepted it. And so our work will have some support from them and definitely defray some costs for us, and uh, the opportunity to get more funding for future work. Keeping an eye out for things that can be done. In fact, if you want to reach out to me about setting up an AR space with Spheroid, uh, definitely the resources we're here to support. This is one of those moments where we can step beyond uh, where we've been just sitting down in our rooms to be in IRL, but having this yeah accentuated experience. So yeah, I'm excited to be on the street for a while. We'll
That's
be there for
awesome.
the week.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I did also notice Hexadized did actually share a or retweeted my tweet for tonight's event, so they could possibly be listening currently. Uh,
Uh,
Big shout out to Hexadized.
Absolutely. I hope hope I did it right. I did you well.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
Good.
You'll be bunking with them. You'll be getting shit done. Let's go.
Oh yeah. You're gonna
uh,
throw some furniture out of the window. Yeah, let's go.
just don't give the hotel your credit card so they can't charge you after. uh, let's see.
Whatever.
Uh,
Jigsaw, you're sharing your screen.
yeah,
Let's look at that.
yeah. Let's pull it
Um,
up right here. Oh, right there. I got it up. Everyone's looking. Everyone's watching. Nope. Maybe not. Maybe not. It went the live stream went down, or Jigsaw's shared screen went down. There it
you
is.
had me talk too much.
Here,
Oh, look at that. This is the video that Brandon just shared. He's doing the blender workup right now.
Bra-
Check it out.
Brandon's doing the Brandon.
Yep. So there are the assets. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon.
We love you, Brandon. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. We have about like 10 minutes left of tonight's
Oh,
show.
okay.
So to before we close out the show, I just want to thank a few people that have popped into and commented on the live stream, such as Madx Crypto. Thank you for being here on YouTube stream. Let's see. I see no chatter on Kick. On Twitch, I see Fermion, Meta Wolf, Yankee, Toxic Waifu. Thank you for being there. Uh, yes, Fermion, smoking too much catnip out here. Um, and and yeah, anyone that is currently watching in Decentraland or in any other platforms, please jump over to Twitch, get some numbers up so that we could possibly raid a streamer here coming up soon, and show them some DCL love, show them that that this community exists and we're the best community ever. And yeah, thank you. And also follow me on Kick. Try to get those numbers up. Just a little shill. Um, let's see.
Nice to know.
I'll pass it to Jigsaw. Anything that we should all be looking out for, Jigsaw, coming up? Like, do you host any Twitter Spaces or have any events or any releases you would like to get some eyes on?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't really. I feel like this is Fellen's time, but I suppose since you asked, yeah, I run a space every Monday called "What It Takes to Be a Creator." Comes on in about an hour or so, where it's just the realest space on spaces, I call it. It's not really a like space that has any kind of agenda. It's just literally a room that I open up for people who feel like they want to make friends and like actually make genuine connections and have like real conversations. That's where it happens. Sometimes there's nobody that shows up. Sometimes I've got a bump in room. I don't really understand it. I don't, promote it or like tell people to retweet the room or anything. It's literally about being in the moment. And so that's what it's all about. And then I have a Sleep Mask Insomniacs Club is a Solana project that I personally run. It's just a collection of cool one of one characters with dope music, and one of them is going to be releasing this week. And then later this month, I have I have a project called the Seasonal Moose that it's a magical moose who transforms with the seasons, and so spring is coming, and he recently transformed into the Valentine's Moose. But basically, if you own a seasonal moose token, this token transforms, and you don't have any control over that. He transforms, and so you get this really cool NFT that just kind of dynamically changes with the seasons. And so yeah, he's gonna change into the spring moose probably sometime around like March 24th. So like keep an eye out for the artwork to update. There's ways to like you can burn your seasonal moose token to redeem a permanent edition of the current running season. So like it's like minting your own one of ones in some instances. But yeah, anyway, it's a cool project. I'm super duper proud of it. I don't see anybody doing anything along the lines of it. It's like I feel like it really utilizes the technology of blockchain and also is really really cool art and really really cool music, and you just get to have this cool dynamic NFT that changes with the seasons. And yeah, there's only 365 of those, so it's like a super small supply,
That's
and
cool.
they get burned actively. So it's like I don't know if I've ever seen another project that has a burn live while the mint is live. And so yeah, one day in probably like 2 years, there will be no more mooses to redeem for be able to get permanent editions, and that'll be fun. And yeah, those are the things that I'm generally up to.
Oh, that's awesome. And with your Monday space, you said it will be in 1 hour from now.
Yeah, it starts at 8 o'clock Pacific time.
So 11 Eastern, correct?
That sounds about right.
Alrighty, cool. I'll make sure to jump in there and show some love. That's awesome, and thank you for sharing like everything you do, and thank you for being here. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a great pleasure to meet you. Finally, have the chance to meet you and talk to you a little bit. And yeah, hopefully, maybe one day we can get you on your own Beyond the NFT episode here. Um, yeah, let's stay in touch, and yeah, uh,
Definitely.
possibly do something in the future together. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jigsaw.
anytime, man. Be honored to.
Thank you. And I'll pass it over to Fellenz. Let's see. Anything that you could leave us with? Could you give us like the general details for Friday's event, and just tell us a little bit of what to expect.
Yeah. So definitely the start time is at 7 p.m. East, 4 p.m. Pacific, and it'll go about 2 hours. And the first hour is all about, uh, what the song is about, being able to go through DCL, have some celebration. And with that, the second hour, we're looking at going into some other metaverses. And let's see, we have some things to work out for that. And I'm definitely thinking we're going to be able to have that excursion featuring well, a young topper. But we'll see what happens.
Hey, young topper, that's awesome. Like pretty soon, maybe even that like vision. Well, somewhat. Will need vehicles first. But like, I guess the vision of driving down the coastline of Decentraland could be vision like something that does come in the future. I've heard the official teams talk about wanting to like instead of making Decentraland all 90,000 parcels, like kind of like endless terrain after the parcels, they're thinking about making turning it into an island, and so that there's ocean all around the 90,000 parcels. So,
Yeah.
so that'll be one step towards like having Topper drive down the coastline on Decentraland.
And you know what? Because there is the definite possibility of getting the vehicle set up for driving in the metaverse as well. Absolutely. But that's going to be a future conversation, and we'll definitely look forward to. You know, I think top down just has, uh, this. It's going to have some longevity, and so yeah, I'm really excited for it and how everybody's going to be able to embrace it, enjoy the music.
I'm happy to follow the progress, and yeah, to finish up, any do you have any future spaces we should keep an eye out for? Where can we follow you? Where would you like to be followed? What's the best place to
Yeah,
contact you?
best place for DMs absolutely is in Twitter, X, and you part of a bunch of different communities. NFT Record Shop, Tuesdays and Fridays, most definitely on Fridays, along with Kirk DeSoto's the crypto therapist. He's got a phenomenal space on Friday mornings, and I will also be getting a little shout out on Thursday with Rizzles, um, Token Smart slash meme explorers. uh, they have a work in progress known as the Whip uh, on Thursdays, and so there'll be yeah, an opportunity to hang with that community. It's just a really amazing time to be part of so many different communities supporting.
And yeah, I hope all these communities come together on Friday for the event and kind of hit it off and enjoy the event. Um,
Thanks.
so NFT record shops Tuesday and Fridays. What time?
At 11 a.m. Pacific.
11
So,
a.m. Pacific, 2 2
yeah, East.
2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And
Yeah.
Friday's morning space. What time? The
That's 9 a.m. Pacific.
9 a.m. Pacific. Okay, cool. Yeah, want to
And
want to
that
just try to
is
be there for you.
yeah, that's Web3 University. They uh, pivoted from this purely, and that was a really, it has been a great space, and it's actually a really great uh, maturity, I guess you can say, of his weekly show that, let me look back.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was actually, you know what? That is Friday morning. Yeah, Friday at it is Friday morning. I apologize. Audio Renaissance is what it was known as, and so uh, on Friday it will be 9 a.m. The Web3 University, and then followed by the NFT record shop. And so, just being part of those communities, the real conversation, the real party is going to be at 4.
Yeah,
So there you go. Yeah.
real party 4 p.m. PST. Hmm. I'm trying to. I feel like I missed something. Rizzle with Token Smart. You mentioned you were gonna be
That's right.
featured in that. What time?
It's
No, I'm sorry. I'm like putting you on the spot here.
no, the train. I mean, tell you. Anyway, it starts at 11:30 Pacific, and they have a really great DJ Foxy Yoga opening up the show, and then they get busy at noon. So it's one where there's a lot of conversation. They have guests. This time around, it's just going to be a you know an honorable mention. The way this mint has come together, definitely the opportunity to talk about it will go on beyond this week. And I guess it depends on if it mints out, but even after it mints out, we're going to be uh, hanging out with a variety of different communities. I definitely want to give a shout out to Vipe, the virtual persona group that I've been part of that for, man, since you know I think it was March, April, and they've got a phenomenal. They're kind of my inspiration on a 3D fully functional VRM model, and they've got a whole lot of assets that they actually have an apartment building that their VRMs, uh, known as Vipe Heroes, uh, are they're uh, GLBs that you can install in whatever virtual platform, including Nifty Islands. And then another one, Chillin' Chili's, that they just released their fully functional VRM uh, NFTs as well. And so just really excited to be part of these communities that are really on the cutting edge of uh, having high quality VRM models that you can run around with in virtual spaces.
Awesome, awesome. Let's see. Token Smarts event, is that going to be on Discord?
Um, it's that's actually the whip, and
The
I did say Token Smart, but it is actually in Meme Explorers on their Discord, and,
okay.
and so it was a long-standing. It's basically a merging of communities, really, but the the official home of it is Meme Explorers.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
we can gather some stuff after this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So,
all good.
Jigsaw and Fellenz, thank you so much for being on Beyond the NFT tonight. First episode here at Metal One Designs headquarters, and this was a special event. So, yes, thank you both for being here tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
Oh
having
man,
us.
thank you. Yeah, seriously, it's great.
And yeah, let's stay in touch. Perhaps maybe we can continue the conversations in the future.
Absolutely. It's been awesome. I mean, you guys have, I mean, for me to be spending more time in DCL over this last year, you definitely brought me in, and uh, it's great to be part of this. So thank you.
Much love to you both. And yes, thank you every one of you that are here at Metal One Designs headquarters. I really appreciate your time and that you took to be here tonight. It means a lot to me, especially at a new location. There were a lot of unknowns, but you guys really, made me feel like I was stressing for no reason, which is a good thing. Thank you, everyone, and yeah, just want to walk around here in the Meta One Design build. If you go over to the wall on the first floor, you will find a library of all my Learning Decentraland videos here on the wall. You can click on them and the video will start playing. Right now it's probably not playing because I am currently live on with my server, but once I close down, all the videos will be playing. um, and yeah, this is technology made in-house by yours truly, Mr. Jay Stickle. And yeah, really loving the new location. And thank you for hosting us here, Meta One Design. Oh, I think I broke it. Anyway, um, no, I didn't break anything. I'm good. Just before I close out, big shout outs to our sponsors, Voxboards, much love. Want to show lots and lots of love to our new sponsor, Bucktown. MMA. Make sure to head over to Bucktown MMA, visit their website. They have a fundraiser at bucktown.org/fundraiser, where you could find support with by purchasing NFTs or apparel. All proceedings go back to the program, which means it goes back to a kid that that may be struggling, perhaps could go back to let's say wrestling shoes or gear for that individual to continue to be a part of Bucktown MMA and continue to train hard, and who knows, maybe one day make it big, make it to the pros. I'm a big fan of Bucktown. They, a big fan of any program that takes kids off the streets and gets them doing something meaningful. Um, and of course, our final shout out here goes to Meta One Designs, our host. It's been an amazing first event, and hopefully, first of many. Thank you all, and yeah, please stand by. I will have RuPaul's Drag Race playing here shortly. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you back here next week for another episode of Beyond the NFT.
Yeah, big flowers at CK Bubbles. Look out for her stuff and RuPaul's
Look at just CK just right next to me, checking out their nails. They're like, I know, I got some nails going on RuPaul. And yeah, take care, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.